All right, Le Labo's Myrrh 55 is in my hands. I'm going to let you know all about it today in this video, but I'm hoping you guys caught my Myrrh Focus Fragrances video yesterday. If you haven't, please go catch that and then come back and watch this video. But this was featured in that video yesterday of Myrrh Focused Fragrances, but I have to be honest, this is not necessarily Myrrh focused fragrance. It's a lot more than that. To me, it's a Chypre style. I would call this a Chypre floral fragrance with some ambery touches. But I'm going to let you know all about Myrrh 55, plus let you know about 6 other Le Labo city exclusive fragrances, as they are now selling at Le Labo boutiques only through the month of September. So either way, find out about Myrrh 55 coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, today I'm talking about Myrrh 55. This is a fragrance I got to sample about 2.5 weeks ago at the Le Labo boutique here in San Francisco, as they had put out the samples already. Well, they had put out bottles, but you couldn't buy them until the 1st of September, because that's the rule. You can only buy these fragrances that are city exclusives during the month of September, so I had to go back exactly on September 1 to buy this. So it's been macerating in this bottle, as they told me it should macerate about 15 days, maybe a little more. But I was given plenty of samples to test out, and I've got about a bottle and a half of Myrrh 55 sample left. I have to be honest though, this is quite pricey. It is under Estee Lauder. Le Labo is under Estee Lauder, and the prices for these fragrances have really skyrocketed, like every other fragrance. $515 for 100 ml. Isn't that too freaking expensive? But I have to be honest, this is more interesting to me than Myrrh Mystère. Although we're just saying this again, this is definitely not a Myrrh focused fragrance. It's a Chypre style, and maybe that's why I like this one more. The Myrrh Mystère to me didn't really go anywhere. It needed something added to it. Like I felt like it was a bit incomplete. This one to me though, it wears great on me. I really love it. And you know, Patchouli and Jasmine together smells fantastic. And so that's why I have this one here. So this is a 2023 launch. It is a Shanghai city exclusive. Outside of September, you can only buy it in Shanghai. That's what the city exclusives are all about. San Francisco city exclusive is Le Met. I don't know the number though. I don't have it personally. I like it. It's a freshie, but I don't think it's personally worth it for me to have it unless somebody gave it to me. My favorite, you'll find out, but any city that has a Le Labo most likely should have a city exclusive. But this is the Shanghai city exclusive, 100 ml for $5.15. There are smaller sizes, a 50 ml and I believe a 15 ml. And I don't know who the perfumer of this one is. They did a great job. Pricey, but they did a great job. I definitely would say they did a great job with this one. And again, Chypre floral style with amber touches. It features notes of jasmine, patchouli, musk, myrrh, ambergris, oud. So these are the notes for this fragrance. So jasmine is the focus note, but they already have a jasmine fragrance, so I don't think they could have called this a jasmine. And I think they weren't trying to make a jasmine fragrance. I think the myrrh as an ingredient is something that's been used in China, according to their website. I don't know the history of this, so that's probably why it's in this fragrance. But it's highlighting that note, but it's more focusing on other notes for me. So when I first smelled this one, I thought, whoa, it's floral. It's got some resinous touches, but I like what I'm smelling. There's some familiarity here with the fact that it's a Chypre. It does remind me a little bit of Gris Dior, but not necessarily with the rose. I think it's the patchouli in this that is definitely kind of reminding me of Gris Dior. And the fact that that has the oak moss and patchouli as well. And so that's kind of what's hinting at it. But this is definitely full-on jasmine, really floral, smells really great, wears great on me, really love it. It gets musky for sure, because the Labo fragrances do have lots of musk in their fragrances, and this one definitely has that typical musky DNA. You definitely notice the DNA of the Myrrh 55 along with other fragrances from the Le Labo that have musks, but that they have definitely a DNA that goes around in all of their fragrances. I believe they mostly work with Firmenich perfumers, so most likely the DNA is kind of going around with different perfumers within that firm. But I like the fact that this is a jasmine bomb with a patchouli. It's that earthiness. There's a bit of sparkliness here and uber musky. The resin comes in, but it doesn't come in too much. For me, the musk, the ambergris, I'm sorry, for me, the myrrh, the ambergris, and the oud are not so prominent, with the myrrh being more prominent between the ambergris and oud, and the fact that the myrrh and the ambergris combine together, and that's what creates a bit of an ambery base with this fragrance when it's drying down. But oud is fairly non-existent, and also the ambergris. But I think whoever created this fragrance did create a great fragrance. The only other thing I should say is Le Labo already has a Chypre fragrance. It's called Ylang 49, this one right here. Different but similar in style. This one does focus on oak moss and ylang ylang, so it's a bit different. Well, it's also a combination of a floral note and an earthy note of the ylang ylang and the oak moss, but in this case with Myrrh 55. And even though it's called Myrrh, we're not getting the myrrh, we're getting more jasmine and patchouli. I think it's really, really a great scent. I really like the way it wears on me. Again, similar to other Le Labo fragrances, I don't think this is a screamer, but this one has good legs. Patchouli always does on me. I feel like patchouli does have great longevity, and the fact that it has the musks and the ambery touches with the myrrh and the ambergris, and whatever amount of oud I get in this one, because I don't get much oud to begin with, maybe like some light touches of something oudy woody there. I think the lingering power of this is great, because that's what I need. I like fragrances that do feature patchouli, and I like the fact that patchouli does linger for a long time. I really love the style. I really love the smell. I don't like the price though, and most people probably don't like the style as well. Most people also might think this does lean feminine because it is, you know, floral focused, jasmine and things like that. But I think if you like the idea of patchouli combined with jasmine, you should get your nose on it. It wears really, really great on me, and that's what I like about it. Just love the fact that it has a great trail, not a beast mode trail, but a really great trail with this one. And the fact that it has all those musks and everything together really does smell great. So, you know, I don't buy every single Le Labo fragrance, especially when it comes to the city exclusives. Those are really, really pricey, and some of those citruses that came out with, I think there was Berlin and there was Sol, I didn't really buy them. I just felt like, you know, the citruses are a little too pricey for city exclusives, although I really liked some of them, just not worth the price. I don't even have the San Francisco one, as I said, the Limette. It's a citrus. I don't think so, but I like more substantial fragrances, and when Le Labo does a great job, they do a great job. I have definitely loads of favorites, and I'm a big fan of Ylang 49. Super amazing smelling fragrance with the whole oak moss and kind of banana-ish ylang ylang note in that one. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a great scent for me. I'm really, really happy with it, and I'll definitely put it to use come down the line here. But let me know your thoughts on Myrrh 55. Have you gotten your nose on this one yet? What do you think about the price point? Is it too pricey? The thing about Le Labo fragrances also, since you're buying from a boutique that's by the brand, there's never ever going to be a discount for these fragrances. That's why I was trying to buy this from Bloomingdale's, because now they sell Le Labo fragrances and I can take advantage of like a gift card promotion or something. But sadly, they were only able to make a 50 ml. So I'm looking, since I buy a lot of fragrance, I'm looking at the chance of getting the best deal on fragrances, whether it's a gift card promo or a discount off or something. But sadly, unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it with this one. So hopefully the Bloomingdale store will have 100 mLs in the future. But of course, this is the City Exclusives month. I'll have to wait till next year to find out for what's coming out next, and if I want to buy any other City Exclusives. So those are my thoughts on Myrrh 55. Do let me know your thoughts on Myrrh 55. Are you going to get your nose on it? Is the price point turning you off? Does the idea of a Chypre floral sound great to you? Oh, one more thing I should say. So since Le Labo is a very hipster brand, do you think Myrrh 55 is the kind of fragrance that the hipster, you know, types or the audience of Le Labo are going to like? I don't know. I think maybe they will, because just think about what happened with Gris Dior, with the whole marketing campaign of Jenna, what's her name, from the Wednesday show. They had her appear in these ads with a bunch of other celebrities and influencers and things like that. This was a recent ad. I did a video about it. But so since they're highlighting that fragrance, supposedly it's a very popular fragrance. So they were appealing to younger crowd. So most likely this will appeal to the younger crowd. I don't know if the younger crowd appreciates Chypre fragrances, but if they're buying Gris Dior, they're most likely going to buy Myrrh 55. And going back to the fact that this is a Shanghai exclusive, are the Chinese into this kind of a fragrance? I think they will probably appreciate this one, because I think it's that whole floral style, and the Jasmine definitely has an appealing quality about it to me, and I think this is going to appeal to a lot of the clientele in Shanghai. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this one. Let's talk about the rest of the collection. So now on to the ranked list of my favorite Le Labo City exclusives, and I've got 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 different Le Labo City exclusives, not 7 that I thought I had, because I had my Ylang 49 next to the city exclusives as well, so it kind of threw me off there. But we're going to start off with the first fragrance. It's BAIE Rose 26, this one right here. And the BAIE Rose stands for pink pepper. Basically, this is a pink pepper fragrance, but they do mention rose. It is pink pepper in French, I believe, and there is a rose note in here, but it's not the prominent note. This has notes of aldehydes, musks, pink pepper, cloves, cedar, rose, and ambroxan. And it's a great freshie, but this is not one that I would have bought personally. Let me tell you why. But before I do that, this is the Chicago City exclusive, if you didn't know. And apparently, I was told when Barney's was open here, I was told that this used to be the San Francisco City exclusive, but when Chicago opened up a Le Labo boutique, they stole this fragrance from us. I don't know how true that is, and we've ended up with the Limette. But I like this, but I wouldn't have bought it because it's pricey for what you get. But the only reason I have it is because when Barney's was closing down, going out of business everywhere, and they were doing their 50% off sale, I got this at 50% off. I like it. It's fresh. It's very fizzy. There's an aldehydic fizziness here. Also quite musky. And then there's the warm spices of cloves in there. And then, of course, a bit of rose coming through. But what I like about this one is that there is a bit of a Coca-Cola-esque vibe with a kind of incense smokiness floating around inside the fragrance as well. It's quite nice. Really like it. But as I said, this is not one of the ones I would have purchased. I have it because it was clearanced out. So BAIE Rose 26, Chicago exclusive at number 6. Then we're moving on to Gaiac 10, this one right here. So Gaiac 10 is a Tokyo City exclusive, and from speaking to a lot of different retailers for Le Labo, they mentioned that this is the second most popular Le Labo fragrance. Outside of the regular collection, when Santal 33 is the most popular, Gaiac 10 is the second most popular, and it's a city exclusive, and the only way you can buy it most any time of the year is through the Tokyo Le Labo boutique. It's kind of unbelievable, but apparently that's true. So Gaiac 10 focuses on Gaiac wood, along with 4 different musks: cedar, olibanum. So these are the only notes that they list. I don't have the names of the musks they're using in this, but apparently they're synthetic musks. They're vegan musks. I think it's a better word to use, vegan, rather than synthetic, because most people don't like that whole word, synthetic. So vegan musks in this one. But you know what? I really like the way this smells. It's ranked low because it's a bit close to the skin, a bit more personal than I wanted. And I wanted this to be a bit more bigger, like it would scream a little louder. And if it did that, this would be an amazing fragrance. It would have ranked a lot higher. This does have a bit of similarities to BENJOIN 19, which is also here. But the fact that it is close to the skin, it's ranked low. But it smells really, really great. It's powdery, it's woody, it's a bit smoky and resinous, and uber musky. I love that about this one. The musks are really, really great. It smells fantastic, but it goes down pretty fast. The musks are also similar to a lot of other Le Labo musks, fragrances that feature musks, so there's definitely the DNA running throughout the fragrance. But I enjoy it. It's just ranked low because it is a bit subdued. So that's Gaiac 10. Let me know if you're a fan of these 2 fragrances so far. We've got BAIE Rose 26 and Gaiac 10. BAIE Rose being the city exclusive for Chicago, Gaiac 10 for Tokyo. Next, I'm putting Myrrh 55 at this spot here, so it's number 4, and I think it's perfectly, I think it's definitely perfect here at number 4. And I mentioned this is the Shanghai City exclusive. It's a really, really brand new fragrance, and I think it just got launched like a couple months ago, and then it just, city exclusives were released at all the Le Labo boutiques, so now we have a crack at it. But again, this is Jasmine with Patchouli. It's a musk in there, or musks in there. There's Myrrh, Ambergris, and Oud. It's a Chypre floral style for me. Really love this style. Smells great on me. It's not super big, but it has great trail and a great longevity with the fact that it has that patchouli that creates that whole sexiness that I like about it. I like the combination of the patchouli and the jasmine. I think it's a winner for sure, and definitely this is a winner fragrance. And again, I'm very cautious about city exclusives, buying them, but this one definitely deserved to be purchased. So Myrrh 55 from Le Labo City Exclusive. The Shanghai City Exclusive is at number 4. Next, going to the Dallas City Exclusive. It's Aldehyde 44, recently featured in my Aldehydes video. Are you familiar with Aldehydes? So this was an instant love when I was in Dallas for an event, and I went to the Le Labo boutique there because I hadn't smelled it before. I think for a while this was shelved and it was brought back. I believe the Le Labo boutique was out of business or something. I don't know what the details are, but yeah, that's why I never smelled it here at Barney's when City Exclusives came. But bought it there. No, I bought it recently, actually, not there. But I fell in love with it there and really love the whole fizzy vibe about this one. It's very clean and soapy, and it's also very, very fizzy and, you know, sparkling. There's an effervescence about this one. It features aldehydes, narcissus, jasmine, tuberose. There's musks, vanilla. So it's very, very aldehydic, also very fresh. There's a soapy quality about it. It smells like soap. There's a bit of a vintage vibe about it, classic vibe about it, but it's also very, very modern. Like when you smell it, you get the hint of some classic fragrances, but it's freshened up and made very, very modern that you can appreciate something like this. So it does have major powdery qualities, and that's what I like about this one. I love aldehydes in fragrances. You know, somebody that might be not too experienced with fragrances can smell or has smelled like something like Chanel No. 5, and when they smell this, they'll totally like connect the fragrances because the aldehydes are so distinct in this. But you know what? I've smelled them side by side, and even though the aldehydes do remind me of one another, this is a complete other, different fragrance, I should say. But it's a wonderful offering from Le Labo. Really love this one a lot, and I love to spray it. I'm very cautious with spraying these fragrances from the City Exclusives line, but sometimes when I'm really in the mood for something aldehydic, I'll overspray this one because it's very, very fresh. So that is Aldehyde 44, the Dallas City Exclusive from Le Labo. Then we're going to Moscow with BENJOIN 19. So I don't understand why they use these specific, like I don't understand why aldehydes is connected to Dallas and BENJOIN or benzoin is connected to Moscow. Sadly, my label is also a bit messed up. But the fragrance itself is really great. One of my favorite benzoin fragrances, BENJOIN 19. Benzoin is a resin. It's sweet vanillic, but definitely resinous. Kind of similar to Myrrh, but a little sweeter than Myrrh, I believe. But it does have light smoky touches. So it has benzoin, olibanum. There's amber here. There's cedar and musks. The musks always come up in fragrances for Le Labo because they're known for their musks. And I think it's these musks that prolong the life of these fragrances. But this stuff is really great, guys. If you like ambery fragrances, this is so good. It does have a smoky quality. It's also sweet, but if you're familiar with a fragrance from Diptyque called BENJOIN Bohème, this is not as sweet as that, but it's sweet. It's got sweetness, and I feel like the BENJOIN Bohème is just a bit sweeter and a little more amberier. Here we get a little smokier and also muskier, but the fact that it has olibanum and it has the musks. It's resinous, it's woody, it's ambery, and a bit sweet, but a really great fragrance. BENJOIN 19, number 2. Really, really wonderful offering. So the next fragrance and the last fragrance at number 1, my favorite City Exclusive fragrance, and all I have to do is go to LA to get this one. This is Musk 25, this one right here. So this Musk 25, this is the pre-Estee Lauder version. I recently tested the Estee Lauder version. They did not smell similar. So I gotta savor this one because this stuff is super, super amazing. Really love it. The musks in here, there's musks, there's aldehydes, vetiver, ambergris, synthetic civet. So yeah, synthetic civet creates a bit of a funk. It gives it a little more animalic quality to the vegan musks. So to smell like authentic musk in here. So for me, it's really, really sexy. But once again, it's not like a screamer of a fragrance. It sits close to the skin. But man, if you love musks, you should check this one out. I mean, maybe the fact that I smelled the current version of it and it was a bit subdued is because it hadn't macerated yet. But I don't know if you can get your hands on a pre-Estee Lauder version. But this version, to me, I bottled this one at the Barney store on September 23, my birthday in 2018. So it's been here for a while. Yeah, it was during the month of September and the city exclusives being available. Although LA is pretty close to me, but I'd never traveled to LA to buy a fragrance. So, but this is really, really great, guys. I don't know what the current version is. I wish I can get a bottle of it to test it out, but it is really, really pricey. Maybe get a sample or something. But the version I have, the pre-Estee Lauder, I think is so, so good. But that the version now might have needed to be macerated. I don't know. But what are your thoughts and experiences with Musk 25, any current version, and with a pre-Estee Lauder version? Do let me know. Put a comment down below, because it might change. This list might change. And if this is true, that this has been reformulated, I'd have to hide this and put it away, because this stuff is amazing. One of my favorite musks, because it kind of reminds me of some things like Sadonaso, Original Musk, Carnicure. There's also Serge Lutens Musk Kubla, but in a more, you know, Le Labo way. It's a bit subdued. It's a bit more personal, not very like loud in your face, but super, super sexy though. Anyway, Musk 25 is my favorite, although as you can see, the label is a bit low. Whoever labeled that one didn't label it very well. Anyway, those are my thoughts on these fragrances from Le Labo, and let me know your thoughts on Myrrh 55. Have you gotten your nose on it? Are you interested in getting your nose on it, or are you going to skip this one because it's too pricey? Do let me know. Put a comment down below so I can find out. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. All right, just as a bonus, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of sniffs of two other city exclusives fragrances that I have samples for. We've got Tabac 28, and we also have Poivre 23. So 28, 23. We're going to go ahead and do the Poivre 23. I'm having a challenging time with the Tabac 28. I really, really love tobacco fragrances, but that stuff is kind of smoky, burned, kind of smelling tobacco. And maybe the fire, kind of woods, smoldering kind of a smell, which is what they say on their website. It doesn't smell like smoke, which is acro smoke, which I really love. I love the smokiness of that one. But this Tabac 28 seems like it's just charred too much. And I'm not smelling too much tobacco, but I'm smelling charred, burned, smoldering smell. But let's do the Poivre 23 first, and then I'll let you know what I think. And with Poivre 23, the website for Le Labo doesn't list all the notes. The only thing they mention is bourbon pepper and amber. But they do mention it's warm and spicy. So we'll go ahead and see how this is. Very much the DNA of Le Labo, for sure. Absolutely for sure. I can say I can put this somewhere between Gaiac and also BENJOIN. Poivre 23 is the London city exclusive. I'm definitely getting lots of amber. And I'm also getting something like resins. For sure, there's a resinous quality here. And for the longest time, I had dismissed Poivre 23, but I'm actually kind of digging this. I've always thought that pepper is a bit of a boring note, just pepper. But there's a lot going on here. For one, pepper does have a bit of incensey touch. It kind of reminds me of one another. Sometimes I mistake incense for pepper, like black pepper. This is black pepper, but from bourbon. And then sometimes I mistake incense for pepper or black pepper. So there's a bit of a smoky churchiness in this, which I feel like the resins that are in here are contributing to creating an incense-like vibe with the whole resins and pepper coming off together to create this. Actually, I've dismissed this one for a long, long time. I quite like this. This is really nice. You know, sometimes fragrances you hate and then you discover them later and then you enjoy them. Sometimes your palate is off, your chemistry is off, and you're not in the mood or something. But for the longest time, I've hated Poivre 23. But today, it's smelling quite nice. I like the whole ambery effect there. So let's try Tabac 28. I recently tried this at the Le Labo boutique when they had put out the samples before the city exclusives were available, and I just missed it again. I'm just not really digging this. We'll see how it is here. I feel like there's birchwood in this, even though they don't mention it. it just comes off of very, very, very charred. But according to the notes, it's tobacco absolute, oud, cedar wood, Gaiac wood, rum, green cardamom. This one's uber masculine. And once again, I'm getting the DNA of Le Labo. Absolutely, for sure, I'm getting it. And actually, it's smelling a little better for me today. I want a little more of the rum to come through and a little bit more of the tobacco to smell like tobacco rather than something charred and burned. But other than that, I think this might be great. I wish it was a little boozier for sure, but everything is just really dark. It's a very dark fragrance, and it's just not, you know, exciting me too much. It's also lots of woods, and woods can be boring just like pepper. But I wouldn't dismiss this. Maybe I'll grow into it. But for now, this is pleasant. Tabac 28 is pleasant. And I think I've discovered something new in Poivre 23. That's actually quite nice. I'm going to London. Maybe I'll get it there. Who knows? It's a little cheaper there, I think. But either way, some bonus fragrances for you from Le Labo's City Exclusives collection.